America's academics have produced some pretty weird reports this week. The first one by the American Psychological Association and Eco-America warns that global warming may not just melt the ice caps and hurt the polar bears. It could give people PTSD by causing a surge in stressful weather events. Kathryn Lyons is managing editor at FamousDC, Carrie Lucas, managing director of the Independent Women's Forum, and they join us both tonight on set. Welcome to you both. So, Carrie, PTSD. Now, before you laugh, Al Gore has actually weighed in on this.
Sure.
And I want to roll Al Gore's view, and it may change your mind. Watch.
The additional stress that this climate crisis is causing really poses the threat of some political disruption and chaos of a kind the world would find it extremely difficult to deal with.
Stress could be one of the big byproducts of global warming.
Well, I think a lot of people do get stressed out when they hear all the craziness that comes out. You think about kids hearing at school about how they're ruining the world, how their future's in jeopardy. So I think if the real stress that comes from this is all the alarmism of guys like Al Gore who are trying to scare everybody to death. But otherwise, this is obviously just a silly kind of trumped up report.
Well, that's actually kind of a real thing. I know I think all my neighbors are deeply stressed, maybe in hysterics almost, by the prospect of the global warming, ice melting, and polar bear thing.
I mean, I'm no scientist, obviously, but I am a skeptic. I'm also from Florida, so I could see why several days without sun would put a little stress on someone.
I thought the promise was more sun. Okay, here's something astonishing. This is a real study, and I'm not exactly sure what it means, but it comes from the University of Maryland, and it finds that attitudes towards family, traditional ones, are making a comeback. In 1994, here's the number, 42% of high school seniors thought men should be the, quote, achievers outside the home, while women handle domestic duties. Today, the number is 58% believe that. I'm a little bit surprised, Carrie, by that.
Well, you know, it is. It's interesting. It certainly does fly in the face of everything you see kind of in the media. But I think this is probably a result of a lot of kids who have grown up and have seen either their parents struggling with a lot of stress, you know, a single mom working hard, or two parents juggling really high-powered careers. Some kids may be saying, you know what, this was tough. I wish I had a little more attention, and I hope to have a different path when I'm a grown-up. So it doesn't surprise me too much that this is.
Well, it horrifies a lot of people. So someone called Belinda Luscombe, who works, you probably know, it was a magazine at one point, now I think it's a website. Here's how she's I guess a reporter of sorts. Here's the lead of her story. Grim news for those who thought achieving equality between the sexes was merely a matter of time. Judging high school students for their views on this. Why is this so offensive to people?
I don't think it's that grim. I don't want to be taking out the trash. And I don't think you want me cooking either. So I think different roles and responsibilities are going to vary per household and, you know, husband and wife and individual.
Well, you would kind of think that the whole promise of personal liberation was getting to chart your own course, right? You're not going to have to adhere to somebody else's idea of what your family ought to look like. And here you've got the majority of high school kids saying, I'd rather my husband worked and I stayed home. And like Belinda Luscombe is very offended. Why?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I think that so much of kind of the women's studies programs and the feminist groups try to push this idea that equality is all about more women getting in the workplace. But real women out there, especially moms, they're much more likely to say they wish they could work less. They want to cut back. They want to spend more time with family. So I think this has really always been, there's been a lot of, you know, work is often just work. It's not always self-actualizing and so much fun.
But should women be allowed to want that, or should we yell at them if they want that?
I think a woman's place is where she wants it to be. Her husband's place is right next to her, supporting her, and vice versa.
Amen. On that note, thank you both.